Sharife Cooper just broke an insane record, and Mikey Williams has a whole lot of competition coming up to where he needs to prove himself. And man, this is going to be tough for Mikey. Now, first and foremost, Sharife Cooper, as all you guys know, man, he is looking to be one of these NBA lottery picks, to be honest. He is averaging around 21 points per game right now playing for Auburn. And of course, a lot of drama and popularity came with his name preseason. He had some NCAA eligibility issues where they wouldn't allow him to play. And as soon as he got back on the court, he made a huge impact for his team. He was really looking like the best player on the court at all times when he was playing. And I think this really speaks to his work ethic and the type of player he is. Now, he just broke an insane record. Now, shout out to the SEC network, but for most assists through 7 career games by a SEC player in the last 25 seasons. Now, Sharife Cooper has already hit 57, while John Wall, who played for Kentucky back in the day, hit 54. Now, Sharife Cooper already broke that record, and that is astounding. I think that just shows how good of a point guard he is, and that he can really make that transition to the next level. If he's hitting those type of numbers and assists, man, you know he's a pass-first point guard that likes to get his teammates involved. Now, Sharife Cooper, of course, a lot of people are wondering if he's going to get drafted, where he's going to get drafted, because he does have some things he needs to work on like any other player. Now, number one, which a lot of you guys were commenting down below, is his shooting. A lot of you guys were saying he could not shoot the basketball, and that I was basically over-exaggerating his game. Now, I think sometimes he can shoot, but as far as three-pointers go, man, that is something that I believe he needs to work on. A lot of times he's leaning back when he's shooting the three, or he doesn't always look fully confident when he's shooting that three-pointer, and that's something that could be worked on. It seemed like back in high school, man, threes were no issue for him. He was always a cool, calm, collected guard, and no one could really speed him up. And now, once he got to college, it was pretty much the same, except the three-point percentage was not good, to be honest. So definitely, he needs to work on his shooting. But the other thing with which one of you guys commented down below as well is his floaters. Now, Sharife Cooper, when he likes to drive to the hoop, he likes to get all the way to the hoop and try to lay it up against a bigger defender. And that works for him a lot of the time, even though he is not the tallest player out here. He's about 6'1", 6'2", and with his hair, of course, he's probably not even that tall, but he goes up and is not afraid to initiate contact against a lot taller guards. And that's something, of course, if you're an undersized guard and you're not too big, you're going to have to love contact, and Sharife Cooper loves attacking people and getting fouls on the other players. Now, one thing he really needs to work on are his floaters. Now, of course, if you're going to have people that are going to be 6'10", 7 feet tall when you go to the NBA, and even now when he's playing, it's going to be tough for you to get all the way to the hoop and get a bucket when you're about 6'1", 6'2", when you're that height. He really needs to work on his floater game and try to put the ball up a little bit earlier, so that can make an easier shot for him, and he doesn't always have to sacrifice his body and put that in the paint. Now, that is a huge advantage for Sharife, and if he could really develop that floater and as well as that three-point jump shot and even mid-range, man, I think it could put him in a whole different category as far as getting drafted goes. Now, of course, it's the middle of the season, so we're probably not going to see any crazy changes in his game, but man, I think he is one of the most solid guards out here, and he is for sure going to get drafted. I don't think it would make too much sense for him to stay at Auburn. The only way I believe he would want to stay at Auburn is if he really doesn't think he's going to get drafted where he wants to go and maybe stay back. But you guys know how these things are. If you wait, man, who knows what could happen next year? You never know, man. You could get injured, you could really not play as well as you did this year, and that would hurt your draft stock. Of course, you really have to take the opportunity when it presents itself, and I think Sharife Cooper is going to be a high enough pick where, man, he's just going to take that offer and run with it, because at the end of the day, he is one of these guys who's a really good player. Now, let me know in the comments down below, do you think Sharife is going to get drafted and where he's going to get drafted, and what does he need to work on? Can he shoot the ball, or am I just lying? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, the next piece of news, Mikey Williams is going head-to-head against a whole lot of competition coming up very, very soon. Now, he has two big players that he is playing against. First and foremost, we have Robert Dillingham, which, of course, this is a guard from the North Carolina area. And, man, he even has an offer from North Carolina. And this guy is a really good guard. I think it's going to be a great game seeing Mikey Williams go head-to-head against this dude because, man, he's a bucket. At the end of the day, he's a really good player. And them two going head-to-head, again, is going to show where Mikey Williams stands, if he's really that good of a player or if he's not as good as everyone thinks he is. A lot of people think Mikey Williams is gassed, and he's not that good. They think he's overrated. And of course, like I keep saying, all his life over time. That's all they report on and show him. So we're really going to see Mikey Williams prove himself against Robert Dillingham. But also the huge game as well is when he plays Imani Bates. Now Imani Bates, of course, #1 player in his class, and a lot of people even were comparing him to LeBron James. He won the Gatorade Player of the Year when he was a sophomore. Now no one has done that at his age, and I think that really attests to his skill, his work ethic, and how good he's going to be in the future. Man, he is one of these guys who gets in the gym, puts in work, and I think he is diligent at the game of basketball. He really has a high IQ, and being as tall as he is, like I continue to keep saying, dribbling the ball, being able to shoot, and really be a guard at that height really makes him stand out from a lot of other players, which is going to be a huge advantage to him when he goes against Lake Norman Christian. Now, honestly, I don't think anyone's guarding Imani Bates. He is one of these guys where you can contain him, but if he gets hot, it's going to be hard for you to guard. He's almost like a KD in high school. If you're tall, lanky, could shoot, you're pretty athletic, can dunk the ball, man, how can someone really guard that? So if Imani is hot, I don't see Lake Norman Christian winning the game. But of course, I know Mikey Williams and his team are going to make a good run, and they definitely have some great players on their team, Joyful Hawkins, Trey Green. But those two going head to head, man, I think that would be a very tough game to win for them. Now, on the other hand, one point that a lot of you guys were making is that Imani Bates' team actually did lose to Chet Holmgren, which is another really good big man / guard in the senior class. And man, I think that is an excellent point. Imani Bates and his team are not invincible. Of course, like every other team, they have weaknesses, but it is going to be very interesting to see these two players go head to head, and really Mikey Williams proving himself against good competition. At the end of the day, a lot of people criticize him. They don't think he's that good and think he's overrated because, of course, all the Instagram followers, all the clout that he has. Overtime even has a show with him. And now we're really going to see Mikey Williams in his true form and going head to head against top competition. Now, even I read a comment saying no one gives credit for Mikey Williams because he goes against the top level competition. Now, personally, I don't think we need to give credit to anyone who goes against top competition, because this is what he's supposed to do. If you're one of the best players in the country, you're ranked very highly, and a lot of people think you're good, and even you think you're one of the best players in the country, it should be off the rip that you just go and play against good competition and show what you're worth. I don't think we should give anyone credit for going and playing against great competition. But at the end of the day, man, these are going to be some fire games to watch. And one other thing, of course, Imani Bates, as of right now, is still questionable as to whether or not he's actually going to play in this game. Of course, he did suffer an injury just a few days ago, which is really making it interesting, and we haven't heard anything if he's going to be playing or not. Now, Ipsy Prep is hoping that he does play in the game, and honestly, I don't see Imani Bates missing this game just because of an injury. I think he's going to play through it regardless, because he is one of these tough guys that wants to get after it. And of course, getting the chance to go ahead and play against Mikey Williams and show what he's made of, man, I think it's a great opportunity for both players to show what they are made of, show the competition, and show who's really the best player in high school basketball, man. We will find out after that game. Now, let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about Sharife Cooper and the records that he's setting? You think he's going to get drafted? And do you think he will do well if he does get in the NBA draft? And how early do you think he'll get drafted? Now, also, what do you think about Mikey Williams going head-to-head against Robert Dillingham and also Imani Bates? Will Imani play in that game? And who's going to win these games? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, get a notification every time I upload a new video. It's LNH and I'm out.